Hello and welcome to this yet another special international broadcast on the consecration ceremony of Ram Temple. January 22nd is the day, and all roads are leading to Ayodhya. Prime Minister Narendra Modi is leading the nation, in fact, I would say leading the world to India with this consecration ceremony. Joining me on the broadcast today are gentlemen, faces, families from the Middle Eastern part of the world, the Gulf nations, as we all know. And as we spoke earlier during this show, in the run up to the show, our guests, our esteemed guests, agreed that a small India resides outside India as well, in their hearts and in their vicinity. Let's begin the interaction and the session here with Mr. Ram Jalan joining us from Dubai, if I'm not wrong, Mr. Jalan.
Right, Mr. Pankaj. That's right.
Right.
I'm in Dubai right now. Yeah.
Lovely. Mr. Ram Jalan there in the center. And as they say, Lord Ram too is the center of attraction. On the left-hand side of the screen, Ranjit Bhagat from UAE, Kumar Padmanabh also from UAE, and last but not the least, Hemant Joshi there, all the way from Bahrain. Let me begin with Mr. Joshi first here. Hemantji, the day is big, no doubt, but for Indians who reside outside, how's the feeling and what is the fervor there in your country in Bahrain? And also, deep down inside, from the Ramanand Sagar's Ramayana till date, what are the things that you see yourself changing within you?
Well, thank you, Mr. Pankaj, and thank you all the gentlemen here on the screen. It's a matter of great honor and privilege to be talking about this particular event.
Mhm.
I extend my greetings to all my brothers, sisters, youngsters, and elders on this occasion of Ram Janmabhoomi Pran Pratishtha, which is happening on 22nd of January. This is a very momentous and unprecedented incident in the life of any nation. Very rarely do we witness such important and significant events as we are going to witness in just the next 72 hours. The we are on the threshold of this particular event, and we all consider ourselves as very fortunate to be born during this era. Now, the relevance of Ram is paramount in all our lives, and there is no question that all our conscience, all our actions, all our behavior historically have been driven by this particular great idol that we have, or the ideal, I would say. Because, Ram is a paragon of all the virtues which have been there in our civilization. Virtues such as honesty, integrity, caring, love, affection, the role of dharma and the righteousness, which he has demonstrated all his life. That is something which helps us to move out and live every moment of our existence in the realization that we have such a great heritage and such a great beacon for all of us to emulate.
Right.
Now, having been in Bahrain, the last 15 to 20 days, I have seen an extraordinary oozing out of enthusiasm and energy. As a matter of fact, Bahrain has got so many temples. In fact, one of the oldest temples in the Middle East is in Bahrain. It was 200. It's a 200-year-old temple, Srinathji Temple. In fact, in 2019, Prime Minister Modi ji visited Bahrain on the occasion of the renovation of this temple. The activities in Bahrain are all around as far as the spirituality and religion practices are concerned. We have temples where every single festival, right from Navaratri, Dashra, Diwali, Holi, name any festival, and activities are happening here with
Right.
full enthusiasm and full fervor.
Mhm.
People take part. There are satsang all around. Saints and erudite, wise people do visit Bahrain, and we have their talks. And so it's a kind of
Right.
Ramamaya. It's something
Yes.
which we have been living here, and now we are
Mhm.
seeing an extraordinary sort of interest which has been aroused because of
Absolutely.
this particular event. And
Absolutely.
I think we are very fortunate, as I said in the very beginning, to
Mhm.
witness all the thing that is going to happen.
Right. Stay with us, Himanji. Ram Jalan there from Dubai. Mr. Ram, when I spent some time in Africa, the first thing that my African colleagues would struggle with and then ask the meaning was the meaning of my name and how to pronounce it also. Your name, Ram, when parents since time immemorial have been naming their kids as Ram, the story remains the same. One idol. How do you introduce yourself in Dubai to your friends when they ask the meaning of your name and also for how long you have been there? Tell us, how is it in Dubai for you?
First of all, Dubai is a great place when it comes to confluence of cultures and people,
Mhm.
and that's the strength of the place. And I've spent some time here, so I realized that the embodiment Ram is not a idol, is not a god. It's a way of life. It's a way of living your life in the righteous way, to travel the righteous path.
Right.
And this is something that has connected people on this subject of Ram. And jokingly, within friends and colleagues, we say that Ram is like an open source library. You can draw quotes from it and customize your way of life the way you want it to be.
Mhm.
Therefore, it breaks the barrier of a religion, caste, creed, or a society. It is
Right.
pervasive, it's fluid, it's natural. And that's the strength of this personality, Ram.
Mhm.
And what I saw, while there are plenty of temples in Dubai that is being visited regularly for worshipping, there is one particular temple which is in Jabal Ali. It's newly made, newly
Right.
constructed. Our PM also visited it and was part of the ceremony. There, I have seen the way they worship Ram is something magnanimous. And
Mhm.
especially last few weeks, I was there on 1st of January. The entire enigma, the entire excitement around this occasion of 22nd January was
Mhm.
visible. And that was visible in the right way of celebrating a moment, you
Mhm.
know, and and that motivated me overall.
Right. Indeed. I mean, talking about the celebrations and the way, even in the proximity of India, I mean, Dubai, I would say, Bahrain, UAE, not very very far away from India. Yet, the way they have imbibed the culture, the traditions, is something which is very unique. Very unique. Ranjit Bhagatji, you are there in UAE, a BAPS temple recently inaugurated by Prime Minister Modi there, which speaks volume in itself that how UAE has also embraced Indian culture, giving equal identity and respect to one of the oldest traditions and religions in the world. How is the feeling for you to be in UAE? Not very far away from India, yet not disconnected. Also, I would say, what do you carry when you come to India and when you go back to Abu Dhabi? Apart from the longing of the family members and the loved ones, what is it that connects you to India every time?
Being in Abu Dhabi, I will tell you that it's feeling like we are in India only.
Mhm.
Here, it's a great Indian community here. We are
Mhm.
the largest community in UAE, also in Abu Dhabi as well.
Mhm.
And first, I will tell you about this event. Like as Mr. Hemant has told, that we are fortunate to born in this era. For this event, generations and centuries we have waited for this event. Yes, the importance of Lord Ram has always been there since we born till we die. We always talk about, always imbibe their principles in our life to have a proper meaning of life, how to lead life. We have always, the Ram has always been the source of how
Mhm.
we should live. But yes, we are fortunate to witness this event, which is going to happen on 22nd of January. So great achievement, great moment of pride for all of us. And yes, that Bab's Mandir is going to be inaugurated in second week of February. It's has already been completed, and Prime Minister Modi is coming, and there is one event. Ahlan Modi is going to be held on 30th February in Abu Dhabi, where the formal inauguration of that temple will happen. And if you talk about that, the community that yes, like here we find like all the Indian communities are more connected. We don't feel that we are away from India. However, we stay in UAE, it's like, but still we are living like in India only.
It feels so reassuring and so relieving to know that even away from home, that part is not missing from our identity, from our existence there. Kumar Padmanabhji, before I come to you, let me quickly share with our viewers a small anecdote. Having spent some time in Africa, exposed me to the history of colonialism in India. And as we all know, what is called quote unquote indentured laborers, a lot of families voluntarily, forcefully were taken from several seaport cities of India to South Africa and other parts of the southern continent, including Mauritius and other places. I spoke to those families, the third generation or the fourth generation that is here, and they are carrying this notion and this belief and this knowledge that their parents, when they left Indian shores centuries ago, they carried Ramcharitmanas with them. And that has been passed on to the generations. Kumar Padmanabhji comes all the way from Supaul district in Bihar, part of Madhubani district. And Bihar houses the Janki Sthan also, if I'm not wrong, Padmanabhji, where Sita Mata was born. From there to UAE, what is the feeling? And tell us, when you moved there to UAE, you have your family also there. What all do you bring from the Mithila Samaj, Maithili, the name itself, which comes from Sita, to till now? How is it, and what's your feeling on this big day today?
Yeah, so I've been living here for more than 5 years, and the experience has been amazing. I will tell you some unique practices that we are doing. So I was living in Bangalore, and if you see the religious activity I was doing in Bangalore, we are doing much more in Abu Dhabi, UAE, than in any city in India. Not only religious, every aspect of the cultural activity that we are doing. Even we are celebrating a small festivals that are completely dying in India. So I mean, new generation are not doing that. I would like to throw lights on what the Indian diaspora is doing apart from the religious activity. So if you see, typically the average age of India is around 30 years, maybe slightly less. But the people who go outside India, if you see their age, the average age is even lesser, maybe 28, 27 kind of things. Now, typically, there is a huge impact of religion on the, elder people, like someone in 50s or 60s. But you'll be amazed to know the impact of Ram on the young generation who is living outside is amazing, not only from religious, angle, because religious comes once in a while in our life, but the cultural aspect comes always. It is always there. So one aspect is everyone is hearing that in next 30 years or 40 years will be the second biggest economy, or at least the third biggest economy, and all of us are contributing to that. So there is a positive environment all over the places. And this particular event this particular event is adding a catalyst to that. So everyone is having some kind of feeling that
Right.
even I will contribute.
Uh-huh.
So apart from the religious, aspect,
Mhm.
it is also adding to overall cultural
Right.
enthusiasm,
Mhm.
and I mean, in one way or the other, it is also adding value to the
Right.
economic development that we are foreseeing in the future.
Very, very crucial aspect there. Very crucial aspect there. And not just economic development of India, but vice versa also. The country that you are in contributing there, Mr. Joshi himself there, he happens to be one of the very enthusiastic, I would say, ambassadors of not just Indianness, but also of what we are. Basically, we are just part of one big family, Vasudev Kutumbakam. Hemanji, your association and your role in Bahrain, about bringing the teams together, organizing events. I mean, we saw some pictures also where you have been an active participant. Please share with us how it is and what do people, learn from Indians, if I may ask, in Bahrain, and vice versa. What do we learn from them?
Bahrain is a place, it's a kind of melting pot of all civilizations.
Mhm.
And if you see the representation of Indians in Bahrain is almost like 30 to 35%. The
Okay.
one thing which is very striking about Bahrain and very interesting is that there are almost like 40 to 50 cultural organizations. And like, for example, we have Maharashtra Mandal, we have Karnataka Society,
Achha,
we
40 to
have
50 Indian cultural.
Indian cultural associations, in addition to a very vibrant Indian club. Now, what happens in most of these cultural associations
Mhm.
is that they always have, especially for the children, they have this kind of Sanskriti classes, or the value-based education. For instance, we have a Chinmaya society here. On every weekend, they have these classes where they teach children about the importance of the spirituality, the religious practices, studying your faith, and being able to, live life in a very meaningful manner. Now, what
Mhm.
is very striking is there is a huge group of youngsters who are getting associated with this kind of value-based education.
Mhm.
And Bahrain, being a very tolerant society, they are
Mhm.
very magnanimous in their approach, and they are really truly secular, and they welcome the expats with open arms and with a big smile on their face. So every single activity which is being done here by Indians is also equally participated by the Bahrain officials.
Mhm.
This sends a very strong message to all the people across the society, and especially
Mhm.
I'm talking here of the youngsters. I've
Right.
seen, especially in the last 2 3 weeks, I've seen
Mhm.
all the young boys attending this Ram Raksha reciting, and Bhimarupi, we have, and then we have this bhajan
Mhm.
and all. So what has actually happened is something which was already there, which is
Mhm.
already being taught to children and passed on to them in terms of our values, culture, heritage, and religious practices, and of
Right.
course the importance of spirituality in life. All that has got suddenly got a big stimulus, I would say, or
Mhm.
it's kind of galvanized because of what is happening around in India in
Mhm.
terms of be it Ram Mandir or any other promotion of Indian culture and heritage. And thanks
Mhm.
to Prime Minister Modi ji, who has been he has been a catalyst in bringing a renaissance, I would say,
Mhm.
in the spiritualism, or in terms of the culture and the great values that we all have been inheriting.
Right.
And so, I feel very happy and satisfied that the
Mhm.
youngsters are getting into this fold.
Right.
Earlier, if you see 30, 40 years ago, a person to go into yoga and meditation, he would do it only after probably 50 or 55 years.
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
today, you see youngsters who do these kind of practices and are very, very involved and very much inquisitive about it. And the
Right.
fact of the matter is that with this particular event, which is happening in the next 2 days, and
Mhm.
especially whatever is happening around, this arousing of the interest and curiosity is going to
Mhm.
help them to learn more about Indian culture, more about our civilization, more about our history, and
Right.
promote what is being taught to us by from generations by
Mhm.
people and by different symbols of worship or faith that we have. So I
Right.
find it a it's a paradigm shift, I would say, a complete
Mhm.
qualitative shift and transformation in the psyche of, especially of the youngsters. And parents
Absolutely.
are very much in tune, and they are very keen in making this happen and this go
Right.
on a kind of a fast track hereafter, if you will.
Absolutely. No, very valid point, Mr. Joshi. I must say. I must say. Mr. Jalan, what Mr. Joshi says is something that is finding resonance here in India. And we could feel that. I mean,
True.
talking about culture or resorting to, a mythological TV series or reading books on that is something that we used to associate with our parents or grandparents. But now, I'm just coming to you on the same point, just to mention it for the benefit of our viewers and for our esteemed panelists here. We at One India are working on 40 different prominent Ram temples across India, right from Kishkindha to Kumbakonam to Janki Sthan in Bihar to Ram temple in Manipur. This project is editorially led by one person who is 24 years old. He's the one who is getting the copies in English and Hindi, which is written by a 21-year-old who is sitting in Vizag, Vishakhapatnam. And my
Wow.
job is to do the voiceover for those documentaries that they are making. So the youngsters who are coming to this particular arena, developing that interest in what India means, do you see this changing trend yourself in the Indian diaspora in Dubai? And secondly, this particular inauguration of Ram Temple, do you see this also giving a boost and fillip and more acceptance to all age groups as far as mythology and Indian culture is concerned?
That's a very good point. I want to share my thoughts with two incidents that I had recently had in Dubai.
Mhm,
First incident, as Hemanji mentioned about the young diaspora and the yoga thing.
mhm.
On 13th, last week, I was at a joint restaurant where they were having a Lohri theme get together.
Right.
And Lohri is a very colorful festival, as we know.
Mhm.
And there were people from different nationalities. One lady got up, went to the orchestra, the DJ, and she
Mhm.
said, I heard this song on Instagram called Ram Aayenge. Can you play that for me? Next 15 minutes, the entire restaurant was clapping on Ram Aayenge, and that lady was dancing.
Wow. Gives me
That's
goosebumps.
the,
Yeah.
that's, I'm getting goosebumps by narrating this story because thanks to the social media, its
Mm,
pervasiveness, its reach, and cross blending of cultures, it's no more about language, it's no more about religion, it's about sentiment. If something inspires you, makes you emotional, makes you connected.
mhm,
And then I went to that lady and asked her that why did you go and why did you like this song? And
mhm,
did you have any religious biasness towards it?
mhm.
She gave me a quote. I'm assuming it's her quote. She said, if you don't celebrate your roots, in her case, humanity, you can't enjoy the fruits. For me, this connected me to some God, some power. I
Mm,
did not mind whether it's part of the Hindu culture,
mhm,
but
mhm.
somehow I connected with the song and I wanted to hear it here because we all were celebrating.
Right.
Second incident, I'm I'm learning driving here very late now, and I
Mhm.
realized the person who is teaching me, I asked him, sir, what do you do? Guru for us is very important. I call him sir. The person,
Yes.
he's young, right? In his early 30s. He says,
Okay.
sir, I get up every day in the morning and I practice 1 hour yoga. I said, where are you from? He said, I'm from Afghanistan. I said, yoga? It's not part of your tradition, culture,
Mhm.
religion. He said, no. I met somebody in Dubai who is a practitioner of yoga. I saw Modi ji doing yoga on the International Yoga Day. I thought this is something good. I hooked on and I left my gym and I'm crazy about it now. Unless I do Surya Namaskar every day, I don't enjoy. And my family loves walking barefoot on the mud. We have understood the importance of culture. So, as I said in the beginning, Rama, way of life, and I think this entire 22nd January Pran Pratishtha will build that trust and connection of millions and millions and billions of more people beyond any religion. I think that's a huge success for global togetherness.
Absolutely. I mean, the examples that you gave almost painted a picture that we were looking at it, as it must have transpired in front of your eyes. And such is the power of, I would say, belief, irrespective of caste, creed, and religion, how humanity connects us. Amazing, amazing feat there. Ranjit ji, UAE, obviously, just the thread that we are mentioning here, one of the very, I would say, already developed and also adding new aspects or नए आयाम जो एक जोड़ रहे हैं वो matching Dubai, the twin cities there. Still, Abu Dhabi, many would say that is on a path to progress with the kind of MotoGP contests happen there and other international events also happening there. Now, what is it that Indians would retain there? As they say कि धनुष बाण चढ़े हुए आप जितनी पीछे उसको खींचे वो उतना ही आगे जाता है. So even if the more we are rooted in our customs and tradition, the more farther we go. With that notion, how is it जो daily routine होता है आपका? How do you go about the whole day? And with this consecration, Ram Mandir being built in Ayodhya, do you think things also get a boost there?
Yeah, definitely. This event, this is like it's not about only Abu Dhabi and Dubai. It's a global event. Has become a global event actually, and there's a thread that connecting all the Indians and across the globe, and the Indians are now being seen from the host country from a different perspective actually. When you connect to your root, the other people also see that you are not diversified. Now you are getting unified. You are getting united. You are getting to your roots. So their perspective also is being changing across the globe actually. If you talk about Abu Dhabi, yes. The economic development, if we talk about Dubai and Abu Dhabi, Abu Dhabi is still like has more capital than Dubai. It has different way of development actually.
Okay.
So in a daily life, if you talk like yes, as Padmavan sir has already told that here we are celebrating more events than back in India. I used to be in Delhi, and I rarely find any time during 6 years of stay in my Delhi to attend any that kind of cultural event. But here I rarely miss any kind of cultural event. So that quality time you're getting here, that's the connection we are having among the society. This kind of event, it has not become a like Indian event. It is a global event. It has a global impact now. So we are also excited. We are feeling like we are getting more connected to our roots, and definitely it will grow up and up.
Right. Absolutely, absolutely, Ranjitji. You're right. When it comes to observing and carrying out your daily routine with the Lord in the mind, and obviously the community also in the mind. Padmanabhji, Ram Aayenge, this, as Mr. Jalan said, has already become the theme and anthem sort of here in India. What is the kind of excitement there in UAE among the community members, all decked up and waiting with bated breath?
Yeah, so I will share the two incidents. The similar incident that Mr. Ram has shared. So just last week I went on a dinner party that was supposed to happen on a cruise. Okay, and in that dinner party, you can play the song of your choice. You connect your mobile to the speaker, Bluetooth speaker that is there. So I was supposed to connect something, and this Ram Aayenge was in my mobile, and accidentally that happened, and it was around 100 people on the cruise, and from different nationalities. So I thought there's something wrong, and I was not able to in that moment. I could not figure out what to do, what not to do. So it kept on going for 30 seconds.
Mhm.
And then I stopped. When I stopped, other people came and told me to continue. Okay, not and those other people were not only from India, from other people. And then
Mhm.
for next 5 minutes, we played that song. Everyone danced on that, and the amount of energy and positive enthusiasm that were there, it was amazing. This was one
Right.
incident,
Mhm.
and the another incident, like when all these things are happening. So personally, I'm not a very religious person. I mean, I'm a religious, but I'm not spending much time, although I should be doing. But
Mhm.
what happened when all these things happening? I thought I should start my work with prayer in my puja
Mhm.
room, and I started doing that. So when I started doing that, immediately I found when I was doing the puja for
Mhm.
5 or 10 minutes,
Mhm.
all the events for the day was running behind my mind.
Mhm.
We all are monkey in some sense when we sit in sit quietly.
Mhm.
So in that 5 minutes, I planned everything, and no single negative things was coming. Even if it is coming, my mind was suppressing it. So what
Mhm.
I'm thinking is, due to this, the event that is happening in India, I
Mhm.
started participating in this, which is helping me to remove all the negative parts that happens in our office or anything. It is giving very positive energy, and I believe this must be happening to many people who are not in India, who are
Mhm.
listening to this event and planning their day and everything. So
Right.
I believe, in summary, apart from the religious part, which is of course there, it is adding value to the common people in
Mhm.
many ways, not only in India but across the globe.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. Needless to say, such examples of
I
finding.
want to add. I want to add one more thing, which I
Please, please go
could not in the last. Since
ahead.
you mentioned I'm from Mithila and that we are here,
Mhm.
so we have a very big organization here, Mithils in UAE. There are more
Mhm.
than 600 families in that, and
Mithila.
in every 3 months,
Mhm.
we get together and do all kinds of cultural activity that we do, some kind of
Mhm.
Vidyapati Samaro. And
Yes.
last time, it happened just on 14th of January. Everyone was talking about the this event that is going to happen on 22nd. Everyone. Okay. So
Okay.
although this event was for Makar Sankranti, but this Makar Sankranti event eventually become
Right.
the 22nd January things.
Absolutely. Gentlemen, thank you so much. Very quickly, I know we are hard pressed on time. Also, Mr. Joshi has a puja at home, if I'm not wrong, Mr. Joshi. Very quickly, and I won't keep you waiting here. In your first response, how to be Ram? How do we imbibe the values?
Well, Ram's life is, as I said, is a paragon of and is a blend of all the virtues.
Mhm.
There is no human life which has no ups and downs and no trials and tribulations.
Mhm.
But if we look at Ram's life, the kind of adversities which he faced, very apparently insurmountable,
Mhm.
but he has taught the world or the human race as to how to hold, how to be equanimous, how to maintain that equanimity in the midst
Mhm.
of distress and the tribulations,
Mhm.
and to still lead a life of dignity. That is the most important thing, and that is why what we think of Rama is the practice of dharma and righteousness. Now, of course, dharma is not in the religious sense. What dharma it actually connotes is you try to find out whatever is best within yourselves and use it for the benefit of yourselves as well as the society. I mean, that is what dharma is. So we have an essence within ourselves, and we need to find it out and use it for the benefit of the society. And this is one thing which probably is a very strong lesson which we can pass on to our children, that notwithstanding what difficulties you come across, never deviate from the road of ethics and morality, because that is something, these are the true north principles. The true north never changes. And so also is honesty and integrity. And of course, the sense of sharing, caring, love, affection, empathy, the sacrifice, the sense of, the surrender which you have, and doing something so that the person opposite you is comfortable, because sometimes we definitely are uncomfortable, but if we are able to make the other person give that level of comfort, notwithstanding some of the difficulties which you might have, I think that is probably the best way to celebrate the life in the sense which Lord Rama has actually demonstrated.
True, true. I mean, these values obviously are something which is very innate to human beings also, irrespective of being Indian or of any country's origin. What you mentioned, Mr. Joshi, are true, and we could feel it on ourselves also. That how जो एक कहते हैं अंदर का अंतर्द्वंद होता है, to be or not to be. Ram is the question. We have Mr. Ram Jalan also with us. Mr. Jalan, how would you reckon and कहें कि आप बीती अगर बताएं तो how do you feel the concept of Ram within the individuals personally?
I always believe that Ram gives you courage, gives you discipline, and gives you honesty. And then, as Lord Shivji also told Parvati, Ram Rameti Rameti Rame Ram Manorame Sahasranam Tatulyam Shri Ram Nam Varanane. So, उससे बड़ी चीज तो कुछ हो ही नहीं सकती. There is nothing bigger than that. And this always stays with me, that अगर शिव ने इसको endorse किया है, तो शिव रूपी राम है. And there is nothing bigger than Ram then. And that's the epitome of life, way of life. And it stays with me forever and always. Whenever I am in a dilemma, whenever I have to take a decision, whenever I have to take the next plunge, he always comes to the rescue. So that's the way Ram is for me in my life.
Absolutely, absolutely prophetic, I would say. Ranjit ji, difficult times, competition, हर तरह से हमें न सिर्फ अपने आप को बल्कि बच्चों के करियर को, भविष्य को, हर चीज को देखना पड़ता है. मैं रेस तो नहीं कहूंगा, but हाँ, definitely there is some sense of urgency associated with everything. Do you believe that we need to stop by? ठहरने की कहीं ना कहीं जरूरत है. आपको लगता है, since I'm asking you this because you're connected to India, but you have the vantage point of looking at the younger generation from both sides of perspective, within the country and outside also. आप कैसे देखते हैं?
See, I don't think that there is a need to stop. Race will always be there. You need to be on the right path. What Lord Rama has taught us, we need to imbibe at least some of the qualities. Not all. It's not possible for anybody to imbibe all the qualities. At least to have some qualities. If we could imbibe, to be on the right path, to do whatever you are doing with utmost integrity. And my only pray, and I wish that Lord Rama bestow upon all of us his blessings, and India should become like, there should be a Ram Rajya. Of course, there is a Ram Rajya as of now as well, but we hope, we pray that we all have that economic Ram Rajya by having that organic development in coming future. Yes, other countries have become developed. They have not been on the righteous path always, but India has always chosen to be on the right path. And we pray that Lord Rama bestow his blessings, and we should become economic Rama Rajya will be in India very soon.
Right, absolutely. Mr. Padmanabh, your final comments on how do we see the developments here back home in India, and the image that India is now being seen because of all its might, its developments, its science and tech, plus its deep-rooted tradition also.
Yeah, if you see, this particular event has amplified and it has reached to everyone, within the country and outside. So what is going to happen? Uh, People have seen it, people have faced it. So, and we are younger generation people. As I have told you, it is the average age of India is 30 years. Outside, it is 28 years. So, this 28 years people, when they will see, if they have to take any decision, he will always be God fearing, Ram fearing. He will never take any step wrong. Number one, all of us in a day-to-day life, we always face difficulty, and all of us, we always go through difficult times. And sometimes we take negative steps, or I will say not so positive step in the difficult time. So Lord Ram is going to show us the path, since it is amplified to an to this situation. So everyone is going to learn from his right. His lessons. So it is going to impact all of us in a very, very positive way. And even if I have to write an academic answer, what are the negative part of it, I don't see it.
Chaliye, great. Thank you so much. Yes, Mr. Jalan.
I just want to share something very interesting. When first time I was very young when this first Ram Janmabhoomi thing happened, and I was talking to someone. I was born in Calcutta. I've stayed in Calcutta for a long time, and I was talking to someone there, a Pandit ji, and I said, "Mandir kab banega?"
That's it.
उस समय पता नहीं था. So he said very interesting thing which has stayed with me. I'm just saying it in English. Is Ram's journey is not about destination. Ram's journey is about his journey. And the entire story of Lord Ram is about those 14 years, not about his annexation or going to Lanka and killing Ravana. It's all about the 14 years he spent and the lives and the souls he touched and the messages he created for everyone. So therefore, focus on the journey, not the destination. Destinations keep changing. Your journey has to be in sum total of what you do.
Right. Absolutely. I mean, hats off to that Panditji. Also, such impressionable mind at that young age, Mr. Jalan, and that stays with you, and that shapes our lives also. And Mr. Jalan, as he mentioned, comes from Kolkata, West Bengal. Obviously, when I was working on Ram Rajtola Ram Mandir, Mr. Jalan, which is there in Havda, I got to know that even Hare Rama, Hare Krishna was coined by Bengali poet Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, finds its origin in West Bengal, now taken by ISKCON as Hare Rama, Hare Krishna. So a lot of connections, in other northeastern parts of the country also. Nonetheless, I mean, this is a conversation which will go on for the longest time. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for taking time out for speaking to us and sharing your views of how we remember and we imbibe Ram in our daily lives. Thank you so much.